Let's work in spreadsheets, and we're going to be doing it in Microsoft Excel, and we're going to be looking at the round functions. So here we have a spreadsheet where we've got a really nice number that's in cell B2. It's got a whole bunch of numbers in front of the decimal, a whole bunch of numbers after the decimal, and we want to see what round functions are available for us to use. Now, rounding, if you remember from primary school, basically wherever you want to round, so let's say we want to round all this number up at the whole number, up until that 7, you look at the number before it, and if it's 5 or more, then you shift the number that you're looking at rounding up. If it's less than 5, you make it go down, you keep it the same to a 7. So that's what we're basically going to do. So if I go round, now there is a round function in Excel. I'm going to say equals round. So rounds the number to a specific number of digits. Now, how does it know which digits? Well, that comes around about the parameters. So let's have a look here. So we want the number that you want to round and how many digits you want to round it to. So we want to round this number in B2, comma, how many digits do we want to round to? Well, if we say 2, let's have a look at what we get when we say round to 2 digits. What does that mean? So there we go. So it takes away everything after the second decimal. It takes away. Now, because it's a 2, it rounds down to 96. If that was, for example, if that 2 all of a sudden became an 8, you would see that it would now round up to 97. So let's get back to our original state there. I think it was a 2, yes. So there we go. So that's what round means. So that means round to 2 digits. So if I look over here, if I'm rounding to that one, that number over there, that's to 2 digits. I'm just going to write the 2 over here so we can see which digit we're looking at. And if I round to a 1, which is to 1 decimal place, okay, we can see the whole thing there. Okay, now the reason why it doesn't look like any number there because it's rounded this up to the nearest number. So the 6 makes the 9 go up 0, which then makes this one roll over to that. So that's why it's a 8. So the 6 rounds up so that the 9 goes up, but the 9 actually goes, for it to go up, it actually needs to make that one also go up. So there we can see. So it is actually working. So that's to 1 decimal place. And you would see this if I change that 9. Let's see if I made it an 8. You would see that that 6, because it's 6, 1 decimal place, we want to round to that 8. So we look at the 6. 6 makes it go up. It goes up to a 9. That's if I change that 9 to a 8. But let's go back there. So there we can see that's to that many decimal places. Now, if I want the nearest whole number, I don't want any of these decimals. I want to just round to that one. Well, if we've gone to 1, so obviously this one, we're going to round to 0 decimal places. That means that we can round up. So that 9 makes that 7 go up to 98. So that's to 0 decimal places there. And so we can assume that that would be to 3 decimal places and to 4 and to 5 and so on. So you can do all those types of things. Let's just try number 3. 3 decimal places. And let's go view it. There we go. To 3 decimal places. If I continue onwards, you see the rest of it's all zeros. So that 7 makes that 2 go up to a 3. Boom. So there we go. But sometimes they might ask you to round to the nearest tens. Now this is the nearest whole number. In other words, the nearest ones or units. That's to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal. If they want to round it to the nearest tens, like for example, let's say you want to give someone this much money and you only have 10 Rand notes. And you have no coins below 10 Rand, then you would need to go round to the nearest tens. Now, if we look at this logically, it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So to go to the nearest tens, if you follow that sequence, what would the next number be? That's right, a -1. So if we round to a -1, then you can see it rounds to here, and so this rounds up to an 8. Okay, the 7 rounds up so that this 9 goes up, but that's going to go to a 0. Let's make this actually, if I make that an 8 there, then it would be a lot more sense. There we can see it rounds up to 90. That makes it a little bit nicer. I didn't pick a real nice number here for all these 9s. It makes it awkward. Okay, so there we go. So that's what's happening there. So although it looks like it, actually let's keep it like that. I'll prefer it like that. It makes more sense if we just leave it like that. Let's change that to an 8 there. Boom. Okay, so as you can see, round to -1, so we round to that position. So we look at the number before it, that 7 makes it go up to a 9. So the nearest tens. Now what about the nearest hundredths? We only got 100 notes. Oh, it's not a teacher, because teachers don't know what 100 notes are. So that would be -2. That would be the next number in the sequence. So if I go -2, there we go. Then it's 0, 0. So it's looking at this number and looks at the number before that. That 8 makes it shift up to a 5. There we go. Boom. And then to the nearest hundredths, if you that's tens, hundreds, and this would be the nearest thousands would be -3, the nearest 10,000 would be -4, and so you can see in the sequencing going. The way I like to remember it, it's easy to remember the decimal places, how many decimal places it is, and the nearest whole number is a 0. But if they ever say the number of hundredths or tenths or whatever like that, I just remember whatever they're asking me, how many noughts are there. So if they're asking the nearest tens, I know there's 1 nought in a 10, so therefore it's -1. And in the nearest hundredth, there are 2 zeros in the hundredth. So therefore you go -2. So that's the way I remember it, but you can find your quick way to remember it. Okay, so that's round. Now you also get round up and round down, which works very similar. They also have, not round, round up. Okay, so it also has a number of digits, but the thing about this one is that it will always round it up. It will never go down. So if we look at that third one, let's go to the second one. The second one's an easier one. Okay. So if I go to the second one, if I go to the second character there, or second decimal place, that 2, although it's a 2, so therefore technically that 9-6 should stay 9-6, but because it's round up, it'll always move that 2 up. So the last value will always move up 1. And you can guess it with the round down, will always go down. So we take that block and we're going to say, let's take to 1 decimal place. And there we go. It will always round down. So if it looked there, that 6 would have pushed that 9 up, but it didn't because we're rounding down. So there you do have the round up and round down. That's if you definitely want it to round down. You don't care if it's below 5. Whatever that number is, it must go up. And if it's down, you don't care if it's 5 or more. It must always round it down, please. There is another function called int. Okay, what int does, if you saw there, it rounds the number down to the nearest integer. So it only needs the number, it doesn't need anything else, and it just gives you the int of that number. So there we go, rounds down. So it's like a round down to 0 decimal places if you don't want to have that extra parameter. So there's int, and then there's trunc. What does trunc do? Well, trunc just basically cuts off wherever you want to say, at what point you want to cut it off from. So it's basically, if we take a number and we say how many digits we want to cut, let's say we want 3 decimal places. So it will just cut off whatever's after it. It's almost like a round down. It just cuts it out. Cuts it. It's gone. Disappeared. Okay, so that's what trunc does. So whatever decimal place you say, it'll keep the number fine up until there, and then it'll remove the rest. If it was, like, for example, a -1, it'll replace the rest with zeros. Okay. So there we go. Now, the reason why we need to know round, before I get to some examples here, is that there's often a bit of a confusion between rounding and formatting. Now, if the question says you must format, then they're normally talking about this thing over here, where we can display how many decimal numbers need to be displayed, or when you right-click on it and you go Format Cells, and when it finally pops up there, you can specify that that's formatting. Now, formatting and rounding are not the same thing. So if it asks you to round something, you need to use the round function. Okay, now you might say, what's the difference? Okay, well, let's look at this example here. So here I've got a whole bunch of numbers. You see they are decimal numbers. So you can see they, as they are, 10.8, 10.4, 10.5. Okay, lovely. Now, under format, what I did was it equals that block. And that block equals that block. So I just said those are the exact same numbers. Okay, exact same numbers. And all I did was I formatted them. I used this over here. So you can see the numbers are the same. And if I go like this, boom, they're the same. They look the same. If I display them to 0 decimal places, format-wise, you can see it rounds up to 11, but it's still, if I click on it, it's still 10.8. I know it's still whatever's in that cell. It's still 10.8. Where this block, I rounded. You can see I used a formula. I took whatever is in that block. Actually, we want to make it be whatever's in that block. There we go. Just to be sure. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. So that is rounding all of those numbers. Okay. So there, these are formatting, these are rounding. Now they look exactly the same. So Mr. Long, why are you making our life difficult? Well, let's sum these numbers. If I sum these numbers, does that, if I say 11 plus 10 plus 11, that should be 32, but that's not a 32 because it's not actually changing the number. It's just changing what the number looks like, but it's still at its heart a 10.8 and a 10.4 and a 10.5, and that's why our sum equals to that. Where on this side, if I equal to a sum of these numbers, a round physically changes the number, and it will change it to an 11, to a 10 and 11. And so when you sum them, you will get 32.0. So that's why formatting doesn't actually change the number, it just changes what it looks like. But at heart, that number is still what it originally was. If you want to physically change that number, you need to round it or trunc it or int it or something like that. So you need to know the difference between formatting and rounding. Okay, so let's just do two quick examples. Here we've got a whole bunch of formulas. If we want to find the average, and there's a whole bunch of cells that it's got it from. So find the average of those cells, blah, blah, blah. Now, my tips to you, whenever you are rounding, make sure that you get your formula for whatever you're going to round first, get that done. So if they ask you to average something, get the average done first, get everything right, get the function or formula working perfectly. Once it's done perfectly, then you can move to the round part. And these are the steps that I recommend. I'm going to move this up the way I wrote them down here. Boom. Okay. So step 1 is in front of the equal to sign, you must type round function, open bracket. So if we were just going to round it normally, so there's our function. In front of the equal to sign, so I put the cursor in front of the equal to sign and you type in the words round, then open bracket. Now if it was a round up or round down, you would type round up or round down, open bracket. So that's the first step, round, open bracket in front of the equal to sign. Then second step, at the end of the formula, so we move right to the end of the formula, boom, you type comma and then the number of decimal places you want to have. So in this case, let's say to 2 decimal places, and then your close bracket. So comma 2 close bracket. So in the front, round open bracket, in front of the equal to sign, at the end, comma 2 close bracket, and there we can get our round function to work. Let's try it again on this formula over here. It's some sort of complicated formula over here. What must we do? In front of the equal to sign, you go round open bracket. If you want to round to 1 decimal place, then you go to the second step is go to the end, comma, the number of decimal places, which is 1, and then close bracket. So that's my suggestion to you whenever you are wanting to round. Follow those 2 steps and you should be able to get it right every single time. Okay, well, I hope this video has helped you work out how to do the rounds, and good luck. For more videos on Excel, go to our YouTube channel, follow us, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, don't do it the long way. Do it the Mr. Long way.